The number one nutrient deficiency in high blood pressure, hypertension. Have you ever wondered why your blood pressure stays high even though you take your medication every day, eat less salt, and exercise regularly? And then your doctor says that familiar line, "This is essential hypertension," meaning there's no known cause. Sounds strange, doesn't it? A condition that affects up to 90% of people with high blood pressure worldwide is labeled as without a clear cause? So what then is the real cause? If you're watching this video, chances are you're one of those people struggling with numbers like 140, 150, or even 160 on the monitor without understanding why. And I believe you'll be glad you're here today because we're going to uncover the real reason behind high blood pressure. And it's not salt, not age, but a mineral that 9 out of 10 people are severely deficient in. It's tiny, almost invisible, yet it holds the power to control your entire vascular system. And here's the fascinating part. You can improve your blood pressure naturally, safely, and sustainably without relying on medication. But before I tell you what that mineral is, think about this. Why does modern medicine call 90% of these cases essential or unknown cause? Is it because they haven't found the reason or because they haven't wanted to say it? When the cause is labeled undetermined, the only remaining solution is medication. And here's the truth. Blood pressure drugs are among the most prescribed medications in the world. Does that seem fair to you, that millions of people are living dependent on pills every single day without anyone helping them understand the root of the problem? So let's peel back the layers and understand why your body is pushing your blood pressure higher and what you can do to bring it down naturally. Before we go further, if you truly care about your heart health, I'd like you to do one small thing. Click the like button on this video and type the number 1 in the comments if you want to lower your blood pressure naturally. If you still believe medication is the only solution, type 0. I want to know where you are on this journey. Because only when you're truly willing to learn will you see the truth that so few ever talk about. Now, to really understand why blood pressure rises, we have to go back to the most basic question. What is blood pressure really? It sounds simple, but 90% of older adults don't fully understand it, and that's exactly why they missed the chance to control it years earlier. So what does that number actually represent inside your body? And why can it change within minutes, after a stressful moment, or when you eat something a little too salty? The answer will make you see your body in a completely new way. Let's keep going, because in the next part, I'll show you something that 90% of people with high blood pressure never realize. Blood pressure is not your enemy. It's a distress signal from deep within your body, asking for help. What is blood pressure really? You see, blood pressure isn't just a number on a monitor. It's the language of your heart. Every time your heart beats, it pushes blood through thousands of tiny blood vessels, like roads delivering fuel to every single cell. When those pathways are clear, your blood pressure stays steady. But if even one section gets blocked, the pressure rises. Just like when a water pipe in your home is clogged and the faucet suddenly sprays harder, right? We usually see two numbers, the upper and the lower, also known as systolic and diastolic pressure. The upper number reflects how hard your heart contracts to push blood out. The lower number shows the pressure inside your arteries when the heart is resting between beats. For a healthy person, the ideal is 120/80. But here's the alarming part. If it climbs to 140/90, your heart is already working twice as hard. Can you imagine how long it can keep working overtime like that before it wears out? High blood pressure doesn't appear overnight or after one salty meal. It's the result of years of internal imbalance. Every time you're stressed, every time you skip vegetables, every night you lose sleep, your blood becomes thicker and your arteries grow stiffer. Gradually, the pressure builds, silently, painlessly, without symptoms, until one day it hits you with dizziness, headaches, or worse, a sudden stroke. So what truly causes blood pressure to rise? Is it because the heart is weak or the arteries are blocked? Not exactly. The human body is incredibly intelligent. It never raises blood pressure without a reason. In fact, high blood pressure is your body's response, its attempt to push blood through vessels that have narrowed or lost flexibility. It's like increasing water pressure to keep the flow steady when a hose gets tight. The real issue isn't in your heart. It's in the elasticity of your blood vessels. When the arteries lose their ability to expand, your body is forced to raise the pressure to compensate. So the question is, what makes your arteries lose their flexibility? Why do your vessels become as stiff as steel pipes instead of staying soft and springy like rubber? The answer lies in one incredibly important mineral, something most people, especially older adults, are dangerously deficient in. And I can almost guarantee it's not medication you're lacking. It's potassium, the silent key that naturally regulates blood pressure, though hardly anyone talks about it.
The forgotten truth: potassium deficiency. Imagine your body as a symphony. The heart is the drummer, and your blood vessels are the strings. When everything works in harmony, the rhythm is smooth and you feel calm and balanced. But the moment one note, called potassium, goes missing, the entire orchestra falls out of tune. Potassium is the key that keeps your blood pressure rhythm steady. Yet sadly, 9 out of 10 people today don't get enough of it. The human body needs around 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day, but most people consume barely half that amount. Why? Because the modern diet is overloaded with salt and lacking in vegetables. We've forgotten that sodium and potassium are two sides of the same coin. One retains water, the other releases pressure. When sodium goes up and potassium goes down, your body becomes like an overpacked backpack. The longer you carry it, the heavier it gets, until your back finally gives out. How many people keep taking medication without realizing that their problem isn't a lack of drugs, but a lack of nutrients? If you consume a lot of salt but don't get enough potassium, your body becomes like a scale tilted to one side. You can cut salt all you want, but unless you restore potassium, that scale will stay off balance, and your blood pressure will never truly stabilize. The question is, why does potassium have such a profound effect on blood pressure? What exactly happens inside your body when this mineral is lacking? And how can a small imbalance force your heart to work overtime day and night? The answer lies in the remarkable science of potassium, the mineral known as the natural regulator of the cardiovascular system. In the next part, I'll explain it in the simplest way possible, not with complex medical terms, but through vivid imagery that will help you see exactly why, without enough potassium, your blood pressure can never truly find peace. The simple science: why potassium deficiency raises blood pressure. Let me tell you a secret few people ever mention. High blood pressure doesn't rise because your heart is weak, it rises because your blood vessels stop listening. Normally, the walls of your arteries are like soft rubber tubes, flexible and able to expand and contract with every heartbeat. But when your body lacks potassium, those rubber tubes slowly turn into steel pipes, stiff, dry, and brittle. Potassium acts as the conductor of your nervous and vascular systems. It helps the smooth muscle cells in your artery walls relax at the right moments, allowing blood to flow freely. When potassium levels are adequate, your vessels know how to gently expand each time the heart contracts, just like a road widening to ease traffic during rush hour. But when potassium is low, the communication between your brain and your arteries becomes distorted. Your body forgets when to relax and when to tighten. As a result, blood has to squeeze through narrow, rigid pathways. The heart is forced to pump harder, and that's when blood pressure rises. Does that sound familiar? Every time you feel stressed, your heart races, your body warms up. That's adrenaline flooding your bloodstream. The body temporarily raises blood pressure to handle danger, like hitting turbo mode to escape. But if you're low in potassium, that system can't shut off properly. Your heart keeps revving at full speed, even when you're at rest. Imagine a car with the turbo on all day. Sooner or later, the engine will burn out. It doesn't stop there. Potassium deficiency also contributes to insulin resistance, causing higher blood sugar levels, which further damages blood vessels. A vicious cycle begins. High blood pressure, stress, potassium loss, higher blood pressure. See how one tiny mineral controls an entire internal network? And here's something fascinating. Many people fear that potassium harms the kidneys. In reality, potassium is the kidney's protector. It helps kidney cells eliminate toxins, reduce inflammation, and maintain internal balance. Only when the kidneys are in late-stage failure, stage 4 or 5, should potassium intake be restricted. For everyone else, potassium actually strengthens the kidneys and reduces the risk of kidney disease. But what surprised me most was this. When I reviewed the most common blood pressure medications, I found that nearly all of them share one side effect. They retain potassium in the body. Have you ever wondered, could part of these drugs' success come not from the active ingredient itself, but simply from preventing your body from losing potassium? If that's true, then maybe we've been mistaken all along. Perhaps what your body truly needs isn't more medication, but the restoration of what it's been missing, potassium. So how can you get enough potassium each day? Can you rely solely on natural foods, or should you consider supplements and electrolyte powders? And more importantly, how many servings of vegetables do you really need to lower your blood pressure naturally? The answers are coming up next, where I'll show you simple, practical steps that can transform your cardiovascular health in as little as 1 week. The natural solution to restore potassium and stabilize blood pressure. So how can we get enough potassium when the body needs around 4,700 milligrams per day, a number that sounds almost impossible? The good news is you don't need to swallow 50 potassium pills. All you need to do is eat the way humans were meant to eat, natural, unprocessed, and rich in greens. I often tell my patients this: every bowl of greens is like a natural pill, one your body actually understands how to use. Spinach, kale, broccoli, lettuce, and mixed salads are all rich in potassium and incredibly easy to absorb. But how much do you really need? To reach the ideal level, you need about 7 to 10 cups of vegetables each day. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Just add a large salad to lunch and dinner, plus a green smoothie in the morning, and you're almost there.
If eating that much feels challenging, there's another option: electrolyte powders high in potassium. These help replenish minerals quickly while balancing sodium and potassium levels, especially useful for older adults who eat fewer vegetables or have digestive issues. But here's something important. No supplement can replace real vegetables. Greens don't just provide potassium. They also contain magnesium, vitamin C, fiber, and hundreds of micronutrients that strengthen your heart and blood vessels. When potassium and magnesium work together, their blood pressure-lowering effect doubles, like two close friends. One helping your arteries relax, while the other keeps your heartbeat steady. And the best part? You don't have to wait months to see results. Within just 7 days, many people already feel a difference. Their heartbeat becomes lighter, sleep deeper, and blood pressure drops noticeably. Of course, that only happens if you take action. So, are you ready to give it a try? Because in the next part, I'll guide you through the 7-day potassium balance challenge, a simple experiment that could completely transform how your body functions. And I'll share the final chapter of Mary's story, how she overcame her fear of high blood pressure through a few small, consistent daily habits. Have you ever imagined that in just 1 week, your body could feel lighter, warmer, and as full of energy as it did at 40? Stay tuned, because the next part is where that journey truly begins. 7-day challenge. Naturally lower your blood pressure. Now it's time to put everything into practice. I want you to give yourself 7 days, just 1 week, to see how your body transforms when it's recharged with the right amount of potassium. This isn't a diet, and it's not an expensive treatment. It's a simple, small action that can change your entire cardiovascular system. Each morning, start your day with a green smoothie. Half a banana, a handful of spinach, some apple, a splash of lemon juice, and water. That single glass provides more than 800 milligrams of natural potassium, gently awakening your blood vessels the same way morning sunlight awakens your body. At lunchtime, have a large salad. Lettuce, broccoli, tomato, and a bit of avocado. For dinner, instead of white rice, add steamed or boiled vegetables. It doesn't have to be perfect, just aim for more greens than yesterday, and you've already made progress. You might wonder, can vegetables alone really change blood pressure? The answer is yes, and faster than you think. Every time you replenish potassium, your blood vessels relax, blood flows more freely, and your heartbeat becomes smoother. Within just a few days, you may notice you're less tired climbing stairs, you sleep deeper, and you wake up feeling lighter and clearer. What I want you to remember is this: you're simply helping your body return to its natural state. No forcing, no fighting, just listening and nourishing it the way it was designed to be. Try writing in a small notebook or posting a reminder on your fridge.
Where did my potassium come from today? That one question, asked daily, will keep you moving closer to truly healthy blood pressure. And after 7 days, when you check your readings and see the numbers drop, you'll realize you never needed a miracle. You just needed to understand your body. But the most important part isn't just lowering your blood pressure. It's reclaiming control over your health, instead of living at the mercy of a number on a screen. You see, blood pressure isn't your enemy. It's a quiet signal, your body's way of asking for help. Your body isn't weak. It's just tired, missing what nature once freely provided. When you begin giving it what it truly needs, greens, clean water, good sleep, and a bit of calm, you'll be amazed at how effortlessly everything falls back into balance. Aging doesn't mean illness. It's simply a new chapter in life, one where you have every right to be strong, clear-minded, and full of energy. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now it's time to care for yourself. Don't you think? If you found this video helpful, click like, share it with your loved ones, especially those struggling with high blood pressure, and subscribe so I can keep sending you more natural health tips for adults over 60. Each week, just one simple habit, but one that can transform your life. Because true health doesn't come from medicine. It comes from understanding and loving your own body. So, are you ready to finally listen to it?